Welcome to Where Does Food? The food history podcast where, we tell you about the history of food. I'm Elle.
And I'm your host, Tim. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Wow.
We're drinking tonight.
What a satisfying...
It's not a bonus episode either, huh?
Yeah, we're both drinking this evening, which is perfect because, Tim, tonight we're talking about sparkling wine.
It's fucking sparkling wine.
And incredibly, neither of us are drinking sparkling wine. But we're talking about sparkling wine this evening.
Yeah, none of us are drinking sparkling wine. Why would we do that?
And that's okay. I mean, Tim, do you like wine?
Oh, I love wine.
Do you like champagne?
I do like champagne. I'm a big fan.
That was a good answer.
Listen, big fan of champagne, big fan of sparkling wine.
Big fan.
You know what I mean? Little bit of Prosecco goes a long way with me, you know?
I love both of the items. I am a champagne cow. Give me a good mimosa. Yes.
Also, let me say that, like, if you don't like wine or champagne or sparkling wine,
it's okay.
Champagne comes from a specific region. It's not okay. Okay.
Oh.
You know me. I don't allow people to have different opinions.
You're right. Just kidding.
No, it is fine. But I will say, like, buddy, like, most wines are like 13+%. Like, it's a pretty good way to get
It's a pretty
fucking
good
shitty.
investment.
So, like, I'm just saying, like, maybe give it a chance.
Hey, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I want to note that per wine expert Tom Stevenson, a bottle of sparkling can produce 250 million bubbles. So, Tim, out of 250, because we'll just keep it simple here, how would you rate sparkling wine?
Bubbles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add the million. I don't want you to simplify this. This is a big range, okay? 250 out of 250 million.
Do whatever you mean.
Elle, you had the chance to take the top, like, ranking system in probably forever in the history of Where Does Food and going forward. I don't think we'll ever go above 250 million.
You never know. 250. I mean, to be fair, 250 million is kind of absurd, but it's because it's little tiny bubbles. So
Yes,
the scale.
But I'm going to keep it at 250 million because I want you to have that record. That will never be broken. I'm pretty sure I hold the previous record with, like, Taco Bell chains. I think it was No, that was your episode. I think you have both. I think you had the Taco Bell chain. Either way. Either way.
There's a lot of themes in my episode.
250 million. Out of 250 million, where did I put sparkling wine? Yo, this one's tough, man. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go 150 mil.
That's solid.
Right?
That's a pretty solid.
Because when I think about drinking, it's a good one, right? Like, when I think about drinking, I mean, beer first and foremost. Margaritas are, like, second. And then it's tequila third.
Yeah.
Straight tequila third. And then it's whiskey fourth, and I feel like wine, and I'm gonna throw sparkling wine in that discussion because when I'm in a wine mood, I'm in all of it. I'm in all the wine mood. White, red, sparkling,
okay.
not. You know what I mean? When I'm in the mood for wine, I'm very much like, I don't really necessarily care about what type of wine. I'm down to drink some wine. So yeah, 150 mil. For that specific reasoning that it's not my top choice of alcohol. It's not even my second or third or my fourth. It's my fifth choice of alcohol. But there's a lot of alcohol. And for it to be fifth is pretty fucking
As I
good.
said, that's a pretty solid place to be at, considering. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take, again, 150.
Ask me where vodka's at.
Tim, where's vodka at?
Bottom of the barrel, baby. That shit can go fucking, you can pour it down the gutter.
Unbelievable.
Except for Deep Eddies. You can give me some Deep Eddies.
No.
I'll fuck that shit up.
Deep Eddies is so good. Yeah, you introduced it to the lemonade flavor. Man, can't go back.
Man, everybody I've ever told about Deep Eddies lemonade vodka, like, over the rocks, everybody that I've ever told anybody that about, they've head over heels for it because I'm like, that shit. I mean, it tastes like a fucking lemon drop shot. It's genuinely, it's so drinkable.
It's so good.
It's unreal.
If you took that Deep Eddies lemon vodka, no free shout outs, but Deep Eddies lemon vodka, and then you did some like lemon lime seltzer
free
wine.
Shout-outs.
Lemon lime seltzer
Just
wine.
Shouting out company after company after
every
company.
episode.
We practically live in McDonald's, baby. Let's go.
Do you all need people to try your secret menu? Tim and I are available. Please let us know.
But yes, I agree. Like the the lemon deep eddies with any fucking like seltzer almost. You know what I mean?
So good, man. Throw a little bit of juice in there. Yeah. So we're not talking about that, but we could probably do we already did a podcast. No, but I do want to preface before we get into this episode that there are a lot of Italian and French words. And I have practiced. I think I still sound like a Southern person trying to say these words. So I just want to go ahead and put this preface right now. And I apologize just up front.
No.
Because this is usually something that we say after the fact, but I'm like, nah, let me get ahead of this. There's a lot in here, Tim. I was researching this and I was like, okay.
Like more than mayo? Like, I think mayo's the most French episode we've ever done.
I have a very contentious with the French language and learning to love it again. So yeah.
Well, it's the language of love, so.
What is it, Valentine's Day? Okay. Anyways. All right, folks. Like Tim and I, grab yourself a glass, pour yourself some sparkling wine or a drink of choice or water, whatever you want. And let's have a little chat, shall we? Let's gather around.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, welcome to the ad section. I'm here to tell you real quick about Anchor by Spotify. You may have heard us talk about Anchor at the end of our episodes, is because Anchor is the platform we use to distribute our podcasts. It's totally free. It helps us distribute our podcasts to different platforms. That's how we're on Apple Podcasts. That's how we're on Google Podcasts, CastBox, you name it. They've helped us do that. You can record directly on the app, on the webpage. So you don't even need a super fancy setup. It's super straightforward. Totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started on your podcast or whatever you like to do. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Okay, so first things first, wine. Let's talk about what wine is. So wine's an alcoholic beverage. It's usually made with grapes, with other fruits as well, but grapes is the main juice that you're getting to make wine. Yeast consumes the sugar in the grapes. It converts it to ethanol. Yes, ethanol, that type of ethanol, and carbon dioxide, which then releases heat that helps process the actual wine making. So
wait, Elle.
Yeah.
Did you just jump into a science time without me fucking cueing you for a science time?
It's like an app of science. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't give it the full science intro. I just wouldn't. Not yet. No. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Well, you fucking let me know
I will.
when we get full
there
science
might be more.
time, because I'll hit the note. That felt like a science.
You might have to add that in post, man. You might be a post edit. No, I wouldn't, because again, I have themes in my episode. I don't know if I have more science time, but I definitely have more political time.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
We get to add a new segment.
Yeah, we might need to watch out, Hassan Masnaj. Yeah. So
because the last political time, like in essence, was falafel, I think.
Yeah, because contentious and oh my gosh, what's it? We love it. It's from Canada.
Poutine?
Yeah.
Yeah, poutine was a little political too.
It was very politically contentious.
Maybe political time will have to end up being a segment. But you just let me know, and if there's a science time coming up.
I will. I really feel like that might have been it though, but we'll find out.
I
know. Again, post. Okay.
Science time with Elle. Science time.
So just to also sprinkle on or Jimmy on, because from previous episodes. So different.
Go listen to Ice Cream if you want to understand that fucking reference.
So different varieties of grapes and strains of yeast are going to be the two major factors that play into the different types of styles of wine. I didn't necessarily deep dive into that. We kind of talk about it a little bit later, but anything, right? So,
Elle, let me ask you: do you read like descriptions of wines?
I 100% read descriptions of wines. Tim, do you?
When it's like hints of plum and cocoa and like drops of bird feces. You know what I mean? When it's like it's being poetic. It's like waxing poetic about what it is. And it's phenomenal that none of that's in there. None of it.
It's weird.
It's all grapes.
It's so weird.
You know what I mean?
It's just all grapes.
It's all grapes.
So funny. Thank you for that, Tim. I'm glad you made that point because it actually kind of, oddly enough, ties us to our next point of each country has a different standard of wine and what they consider what wine is. Also, we'll kind of get a little bit into that more. Again, yeah, it's very contentious. It's like pizza.
Wow. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Okay, Tim, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So
geopolitics. Here we go. Haven't got enough of that this year.
Let's jimmy it on, boys. Okay. Again, slight appetizer of science time. The sparkling wine is a wine that has significant, obviously, levels of carbon dioxide, and that's obviously what makes it fizzy. Normally, we refer to fizzy drinks as champagne, but the European Union legally reserves that right for products that were exclusively produced in the Champagne region of France.
Yes.
So there's
and everyone, like, I feel like so many people know that too, right? Where it's like it's not technically champagne if it's not from the Champagne region. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's just me.
I was about to say, yeah, that was fantastic, Tim. I think people have heard about that, but it's like, it sounds so pretentious that you're like, that's not true. And then I did the research and I'm like, no, that's true. That's 100% true. And it's like, obviously it's pretentious. We've got a little bit of the French involved.
We're talking about champagne.
Yeah.
Of course it's pretentious.
It's a little pretentious. So a lot pretentious. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm like, yeah, the European Union got in on it, and they're like, no. Like I said, it's like the pizza thing. The standards. Yeah. So talking about what types of wine. So it's usually white or a rosé, but you've got red sparkling wines, and then you have, here we go, the Italian Braccetto, Bernardo, and then Brusco. That was fun. Along with the Italian Shiraz.
Wow. Fucking Italian in front of me over here.
I watched one Anthony Bourdain. No, I'm just kidding.
Elle, your last name's Garodi.
Tim. No, it's so funny you fucking said that though, because I just had that conversation with someone literally yesterday about, because I talk with my hands a lot, so then people hear the I in my last name and they're like, oh, so you're obviously Italian. I'm like, that's rude, A. And B, no.
You do talk with your hands a lot. Holy shit, that's amazing. I never noticed that. That's the most Italian American thing about you.
And they're like, oh, and I like pizza. So like, obviously all of these things mean. And I'm like, I guess. I'm like, again, this is kind of rude, but.
Yeah, Elle quotes The Sopranos just constantly.
Constantly.
Gabagool.
I have multiple velour tracksuits that I wear. That's my day-to-day outfits.
That's good, man. Fuck, I never even thought of that. That's great.
Yeah, right, well.
Shout out to those people that brought that up. That's great.
Yeah, I'm glad we could enjoy that. So, anywho, and also, something that I learned, because I never took the time to realize, because I just was like, words, there's 3 different types of level of sweetness that you can have to your champagnes. Your sparkling wines. I didn't know that.
I didn't know it was leveled.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, I thought it just varied. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, there are champagnes that are sweeter. There are champagnes that are drier.
No, I thought that too.
I just, you know what I mean? I didn't realize there was levels.
There's levels, and it's okay. I'm about to blow your mind. I blew my own mind. So, again, there's 3 of them, so we should in theory be able to remember them when next time you go to the store. So, a Brut Zero or natural that has fewer than 3 grams of sugar per liter.
Dry as fuck.
Dry as fuck. That's not my personal preference.
Just dry as hell.
I'm not gonna go for the Brut Zero or natural. That sounds not fun. Then you have Extra Brut, which is fewer than 6 grams of sugar per liter. So still not that many more grams of sugar per liter. Again, not my go-to, but if
I've had some Extra Bruts,
okay,
and I don't mind them.
Okay, right. Because to my next point, I don't mind Extra Brut if Brut is not available. Because I didn't,
which is the sweetest.
The sweetest. And again, I didn't know this, and then now that I like proactively learned this scale, I'm like, this makes more sense that my taste buds like that more. So a Brut will have fewer than 12 grams of sugar, so nearly twice of Extra Brut. Of sugar per liter.
Damn.
Brut's the way to go, personally. And if I can't have a Brut, then I'm going to go with Extra Brut. And then if I can't have either of those, I'm just going to go and not have champagne.
With like another fucking...
Yeah,
with another fucking...
completely different alcohol. I'm not even going to say in the realm of...
Not even another wine.
Yeah.
Just a different alcohol.
Just completely different, like, liquor of some sort. So, that's the sugar range.
Do you like rosés?
I will have rosés. I'm not a big like pink or red gal for some reason. I never have been.
I'm not a rosé person, but I am definitely a red person. I think I've said it on the podcast. Maybe I haven't. I'm definitely a Pinot Noir guy. I'm a huge Pinot Noir guy. Well, Pinot Noir specifically, because Pinot Grigio is the white
version.
But Pinot Noir, yeah.
Isn't Pinot Grigio just like, I wouldn't even say really, it's just like really sweet, or am I not remembering correctly?
I think it probably ranges, right? You know what I mean? That's just
Probably.
how wine goes. But I for me, Pinot Noirs feel like they're on the sweeter side for reds, but they still hold a bit of dryness that I like. So I'm
Yeah,
a
it's
bigger
not as
fan
bitter.
of I'm a bigger fan of Pinot Noirs as far as reds go.
That's interesting, Tim, that you brought that up. I inherently don't really care
I
for
lo-
reds because they're so bitter, but I'll drink like black coffee that can be bitter. So anyway, maybe different flavor profiles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of people like cabs that I know. I like Cabernets.
That's kind of in between there, right? Like as far as flavor profiles go.
Yeah, cabs are fine. But I tend to lean towards the Pinot Noirs more so.
Either way, so kind of going with that in the realm of sparkliness. So let's talk about the utilities of the bubbles themselves. Not only are they like, oh, fun, bubbles, they add the extra pop to the taste themselves, but they actually speed up alcohol intoxication by helping the alcohol reach the bloodstream faster. Which is
It's proven.
like, I mean, you know, yes.
Fucking A, that's another science time. Are you kidding me?
I said they're sprinkled in there because they're not full science. Because we have full science segments. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm also not mad
Yeah,
if you want to
it's true.
just like, bow, like a, you know, maybe we can make another sound effect. How are you feeling? Or just,
You know what? I'll tinker with it.
it's like 10
we should
seconds
stop
of
talking
the.
about we should stop talking about editing during the record. That way, when it doesn't happen, people aren't disappointed.
Remind them of their. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's fine. Okay,
Tim didn't add a fucking laugh track, and he said he was gonna.
that was fun. No, I really enjoyed that. Okay. So yeah, they make you drunker faster, which is great. So it's like, yeah,
I think also the fact that they're like 14%.
it's exactly it's a
fucking-
lethal combo. Very high alcohol percentage.
But that's the thing. That's the thing is like they drink like a fucking beer,
Yes.
but they're way higher
Yes.
in percentage typically. Like, I mean, I'm drinking like a 10%er tonight, but like most of the time, you're not drinking that
No.
high of a percentage of beer. It's usually like fucking 5%er. So it's like the idea that like something drinks like beer, but it triples the fucking
Dude,
alcohol
that's what I'm saying.
content.
Like, I'm surprised we just don't get fucking those $5 bottles of champagne and call it a day. Because it's like you get one of those bad boys, you and your friend, and you guys are good. And we good for the entire night.
Yeah, well, they also taste like shit.
That's why
anyone
you
gets them.
gotta, you know, put a bunch of juice or something in there, or just
Listen, not sparkling, but shout out to Boone's Farm.
no free shoutouts. But
If you don't know what Boone's Farm is, you do know what Boone Farms is. It's literally go down the wine aisle, and it's the really bright colored ones.
Okay.
The blues, the purples, the reds. It's insane
I didn't know that. Okay,
that they sell it as an alcohol. It's wild.
I didn't know that existed. So now I'm gonna have to figure that out next time.
There's there's like green ones. I don't know. Yeah.
What?
it's
Okay.
Boone's Farm.
Boone's
baby.
Farm.
Let's go.
Okay, no free shoutouts.
Let's go. Cheap alcohol for the dubs.
Kind of to your point, Tim, there's levels to getting drunk. With that, the sparkling quality the wines get from the carbon monoxide. So here's the sparkling quality situation. They could either come from natural fermentation, so either in a
Yes.
bottle, or a more traditional method, which has the wine in a large tank that can withstand the pressure involved, or they just inject the carbon dioxide into the bottles, which isn't as fun, but
Right.
that's, I mean, pretty standard practice.
Right. Yeah, listen, if you're doing natural carbonation, it's going to be very light. Like, it's going to be thin bubbles. You know what I mean? It's not going to be hard. Have you ever had Topo Chico?
I
It's a water.
fucking love Topo Chico.
Yeah, so big Topo Chico fans here on the podcast. Welcome to Where Does Food,
fans,
the
big fans.
podcast about Topo Chico. So Topo Chico actually comes from a spring in Mexico that is naturally carbonated, but they add extra carbonation, and that's what makes Topo Chico so goddamn fucking crisp.
Incredible, okay.
Listen, it's spicy, okay? Like,
It's so good,
the shit
man.
is spicy. But like, if you were to get something, I don't want to say LaCroix, but maybe LaCroix is a good.
Depends on what flavor.
I'm sure LaCroix. I'm sure, and not even flavor. I'm sure LaCroix like injects their own, but like LaCroix's lighter bubbles. It's thinner. You know what I mean? It's not as crisp of a bubble. You know what I mean?
Especially in comparison to Topo Chico.
Am I the only one that compares like bubbles of like
No.
sodas and like
I think that's
spritzers and shit? Because there's difference. I get it. Like natural. Like if you were to get a natural one, it would be very thin bubbles. It just wouldn't be like, it would be more in the kombucha range.
I'm glad you
I'm trying to
No.
I'm trying to give people a point of reference.
Okay, Tim, because you're so close here. The levels of carbon dioxide that are in sparkling wine, and I imagine there's probably a somewhat similar scale for things like carbonated beverages, if not the same scale.
Mm-hmm.
So the BD level of carbon dioxide, that means that there's less than 15 psi of pressure.
Right.
Semi-sparkling is 15 to 36 psi of pressure. And then sparkling, which is above 44 psi of pressure.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
McDonald's
Yeah, I'm
Sprite is
pretty sure
probably like 100 psi.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure to get to that 44 is you got to inject your own. Like, I don't think that's naturally
No.
occurring.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's just like you said. So it's like...
I'll go on the record and say I think Topo Chico is probably the crispest drink
It is.
you can buy. Like, out of the bottle without pouring it. You know what I
So,
mean? Like, if you
yeah.
pop the bottle,
A chilled
it's
Topo
insane.
Chico, it tastes... Okay,
It's fucking insane.
because here's my thing. I love carbonated beverage or sodas, and you can't just keep drinking sodas. That's like not cool. So sparkling water is something that kind of replaces that craving
Yeah.
for me. And so
Yeah.
Topo Chico matches that carbonation level for me. So yes, absolutely. Like it hits, and so it's like, wow, this is good. Like I feel satisfied. Like I said, it's got a little bit of a burn on it. It's nice though. It's nice.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's like it's
It's
crisp
good.
and
Rec-
I mean it's naturally already bubbly. And then to your point, I think they have to definitely add extra
Oh,
bubbles to withstand the travel. But man, oof.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
So those are the levels of PSI that go into your carbonated beverages, but more so your sparkling wines. Like all great contributions to our culinary adventure here. Tim, where do you think we're going right now?
Fucking Rome or Greece?
We're going to both, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Bow, 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 bow. Okay, so naturally, we can't exactly nail down who came up with sparkling wine, but we can say it was noted in writings done by the Greeks and the Romans. So by this measure, we can say it's at least been around for a while. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I
Do you have like time?
okay. Yes and no.
Well, I mean, literally, all you have to say is ancient Rome or Greece, and then we have like a time frame because we've talked about it before.
So yeah, we'll get to the more of the timeline, but Rome is where we would start out.
Okay.
And then
Okay,
Greece.
understood.
Yeah. So initially the spark
We're talking like 4th century, baby. Let's go.
they were having a great they were making wine and making pies that they didn't know were pies. Like they were just having a good time.
Dude, they were making everything.
Like
They were cultivating oysters. They were making wine. They were making toast. They were making pies. Buddy,
And they had
they were
democracy.
making the first rendition of a burger. They were doing it all.
they're doing it all.
The Romans have done it all. They fucked with mustard. They have done it all.
How could you forget? Yes, mustard. I forgot about mustard.
Yeah, it's a good episode. We're getting to the point where we're like self-referential. So,
Look at us, man. That's pretty what a flex, honestly. So initially the sparkling wine was referred to as the devil's wine, since people didn't understand how fermentation worked and how combustible the bottles were. So this is fun. The monk Dom Perignon, yes, that Dom. The Dom Perignon, yes, that guy.
nice.
Yeah, he was initially tasked to get rid of all the bubbles in the bottles. They were like, hey, yo, Dom, can you get rid of it? We don't want the bubbly shit. We don't want this. So wine cellar workers in the 18th century were wearing iron-like catcher masks to protect themselves from potential explosions of the glass bottles. This was some serious business news, and they didn't have insurance back in the day, bro. Like, that wasn't even a thing. Like, so
Yeah.
they're like, here's the mask from Leonardo DiCaprio's movie.
Yeah.
Here you go. Good luck. Hope you can do this. So,
What a fucking reference. Okay, keep going. Yeah.
so yeah, speaking of, so a wild twist in the story actually involves the British, because of course, why wouldn't it involve the British? During the 17th century, winemaking in Britain really stepped their game up. They were the first to really recognize how good sparkling wine could be. This mostly stemmed from an issue where the wine would be shipped from them during the colder months. The fermentation process would stop until it would get warm again, and it would release the yeast and the sugar. The cork-stopped wine. Corks are from the Romans, by the way. If you guys are wondering, like, why you guys have cork, it's because of the Romans.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
dude.
the cork-stopped
That's ridiculous.
the
That's ridiculous.
The ridiculous Romans, man. So the wine would build CO2 pressure, so when it would open, it would be bubbly. So this is where it gets weird, because this is where we could potentially infer that the British were producing sparkling wine before the French were considering even making it.
I don't believe
But
it.
I don't believe it, because you
can't trust the
You
British
can't trust
to
the
give you
yeah.
historical information.
That's-
Are you fucking kidding me?
I was gonna say it, but I was gonna say it, and then Tim ended up saying it. But yeah, I don't necessarily trust the colonizers of the world to give us accurate descriptions of if they made sparkling wine
Listen,
or not.
I'm just saying the British also convinced the world for a long time that Vikings were like savages and gross, dirty people, even though they were like way cleaner, treated their women better. They were like awesome. Just saying.
Just saying. Yeah, so the Brits are claiming that. Again, I question that. I don't necessarily believe it, but, que sera, sera.
Listen, as food historians, we like to interject our PhD opinion.
Obviously.
I don't have a PhD.
I don't have a PhD either.
A couple of Nunya businesses talking about fucking
Couple
food.
Nunya businesses. Inc. Okay. So, not only are good ingredients important when making wine, the process also matters as well. So, let's talk about the processes of how to make wine, or I guess the more prominent ways that you would prepare the sparkling wine. The Recordist Olded method, yes.
You need Lucille Ball. That's the first thing you need, is you need Lucille Ball to get her fucking feet in that little fucking wine.
Her and,
that
Doris,
grape-
what was her name?
I don't fucking
Ethel.
know, dude. I don't watch I Love Lucy.
Bro, so good, the fuck. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I respect Lucille Ball either way.
either way, but yeah.
We're not going to get into a tiff about how much I haven't watched Lucille Ball.
Absolutely not. Yeah, we'll get them in there and we'll take care of that. So, the recorded oldest method of producing wine is the ancestral method, and it took place in 1531. Okay, so there's 7 different methods of winemaking.
Okay.
Pretty standard. So we've got the traditional way, it's the classic way, but it's not the oldest, so that's kind of the method that we're all kind of familiar with. And then we have the
Right.
ancestral way. This is the oldest method, and this one was made by monks in the monastery of Saint Hilaire. It's determined by location and weather. And then this one uses an interruption method fermentation. So fermentation is interrupted by the act of bottling. So we're stopping the process.
Yeah.
And then you have this intermission period where the primary fermentation process is completed to dryness, which allows the wine to be settled. And then the juice is added, and then the bottle with the second juice needing to be fermented in the bottle. And apparently this is one of the best ways to make wine.
Okay.
So you're taking stuff out, taking stuff up in, letting it chill, putting some more stuff in, and
Right.
then letting it just do its new thing. Which makes sense. You're injecting it,
Yeah.
like letting the process happen, and then you're saying new flavor, and that's just redoing the process over again. So that makes sense.
Yeah, right. Gives it just more dynamic flavor.
Right. So then we have the transfer method. Wines from New Zealand and Australia usually use this method. This uses the second process of fermentation to bubble the wine. There was a Doisy. Couldn't really find much information on that process as well. The Charmat, which is wine is mixed in a stainless steel pressure tank with sugar and yeast, and then the fermentation process happens in a closed CO2 system, or in a closed system so the CO2 cannot directly escape and dissolve in the wine. This method is actually used in the US, Italy, and Germany.
Okay.
Then there's a continuous method, and then the soda method, which is just adding CO2 via a carbonator, which is how your sodas get
Right.
carbonated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all the methods of the carbonation. And then you have different types of wine. So the different types of wine, the U.S. is a major producer of sparkling wines, as there are a number of producers in multiple states. The U.K. has also restarted production of sparkling wine as well. So, Tim, what percentage do you think Champagne is responsible for when it comes to sparkling wine production?
Oh, like fucking 5%.
Ooh, that's close. Champagne is responsible for roughly 8% of worldwide sparkling wine production.
Absolutely.
That was close, yeah.
Like something being like right, like that's where that fact comes in, right? It's like we call things champagne, but in reality, it's like champagne is so niche.
Yep.
In reality, Like sparkling wine has just grown past the name
Got it.
champagne. It's sparkling wine. Like if you make wine and you want it to be sparkling, you fucking do what you have to do to make it that, and it doesn't have to be fucking champagne.
Got it. Absolutely. Hell yeah. So now with that, we're going into the different types of wine. So we've got the Cremant. These sparkling wines were originally named because their lower CO2 levels yield a more creamy rather than fizzy mouthfeel. So again, that low carbonation, that low carbonated. So you've got that kind of a smoother taste, not as that bite when you get that first drink. French law states that the Cremant must be harvested by hand and that the wine must be aged at least 1 year. So,
okay then.
I want to clarify who made that. It's the AOC and not the one from the United States. It's the French Appellation d'Origine Contrôlée, and they provide the letter of authenticity from certain regions. Again, the same idea as pizza. There's these groups of people, and they're like, these are the standards for our wine. You either follow them or you don't. And if you do, it'll be considered sparkling wine. Wild.
Wow. We have a fucking wine unit.
Absolutely.
Going around judging wine.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not...
Are you a fucking wine?
Hey, who do you know here, wine? No. So then we have the Cava, which is a Spanish white or pink sparkling wine produced mostly in Catalonia. I would actually try this one. I think the pink wine of this, absolutely. It's a Greek term that was used to refer to a high-end table or wine cellar, and it comes from the Latin word cava, which means cave. So caves were used in the early days of production to help preserve the wine. It makes sense. Underground, cool, no source of sunlight, right? Makes sense. The sparkling wine of cava was created by Josep Raventejos in 1872. It must be made via the traditional method for it to be considered a cava wine. The Italian sparkling wine, which is what you guys know as Prosecco and Moscato, they actually have a lower in alcohol levels, and they're a hell of a lot sweeter. So that's also a type of cava wine. Then you have a German sparkling wine, which is also known as a sect. So 95% of the wine is produced via the Charmat method. And then, Tim, to your point, it's got a minimum 10% alcohol, and it's got about 44 PSI in the bottle. So it's got it's got a bite, and it's gonna get you pretty lit. Around 90% of sect is made from imported Italian, Spanish, and French wines, which is very interesting. Look at Germany. Production of this wine dates back to 1826. I'm gonna make a World War II joke, but I decided against it. The Ukrainian sparkling wine shares something with the French. Its location is just around, this is really cool, around the 46th parallel north, which apparently is a really great place to make wine. It's like the Humboldt County of wine. And then we've got the American sparkling wine. So this is okay. This is where I got you here. We've got our boy Andre, aka E&J Gallo. So it was founded in 1933 in Modesto, California. Then you have Barefoot wine, which I'm sure you guys have seen that label everywhere in the grocery store. It's literally a barefoot. Yeah, right. You've got, oh shit, Tim, you're gonna love this. We've got Carlo Rossi, and then you've got Boone's Farm, which is an apple wine. Yeah.
Let's go.
And then you've got, that's all under the Andre umbrella. Your boy Andre is going ham. And then we've got Corbel, which I'm sure you guys have also seen. That's a very prominent band out in the grocery. You can literally go get it in like your local Kroger grocery or whatever. So this is from Sonoma, California. 1892, the Corbel brothers, who immigrated from the Czech Republic in 1852, produced the first batches of the sparkling wine. So that right there is a sum of all the wines and what type of wine comes from where. And yeah, Tim, that's wine. So are you feeling buzzed? Are you buzzing from the bubbles in your bloodstream right now, bro? How are you feeling? What's your rating? You're still at 150? Thoughts? Questions? Comments? Concerns?
Oh, man. Wow. First of all, the first question, am I buzzed? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Borderline drunk.
I can't feel
at
my
this
feet.
point.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to be honest.
Same.
The beers I have, they're stout. I've had two. I'm drunk.
Yo, I'm drunk.
Listen, that is fantastic. I let you kind of speak because I felt like I was interrupting you a lot in this episode to make like jabs and jokes. So I wanted you to be able to like actually just lay out your information and let you go. Fantastic. There's so much going on. So many different sparkling wines. So many different regions. It's phenomenal. I love the geo cultural dynamic of it all. It's incredible. I'm going up to a full 200 mil.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
On this bad boy. I think that, you know what? I'll go 210 mil
210
on this bad boy.
Yes.
I think it's great. Sparkling wine, phenomenal. Love to know that Prosecco is from a specific region and that I enjoy it because it is sweeter and it does have quite a bite. I think Prosecco's great for that. And the fact that, it's rocking that fucking little, it's close to that 10%er,
Yes.
It's a little stouter, even though it drinks like fucking juice.
So those are the best kinds,
No,
personally.
Man. Oh, they're so good. Yeah, love it. Dude, yeah, what a fucking great ordeal. Sparkling wine, who knew?
Who knew?
That it had so much going on.
I didn't.
I'm impressed. Man, is that the end of
Man,
the
that's the end of the pod. You're going to have to go drunkenly into our outro.
Holy shit. Welcome to the end of the podcast. Guys, this is Where Does Food. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find us at wheredoesfood.com. That's right, we have a website.
Yeah.
On that website, you can see a little blurb about why we do what we do. You can also find all of our episodes, past bonus episodes, season 1, this is season 2 finale. Holy shit, that's incredible. Yeah, season 1, season 2, we've done it, we've put it up. Guys, you can also check us out on Twitter at wheredoesfood.
Please.
That's the actual handle for the Twitter page. You can find me at Tim Wehunt. You can find Elle
at El Chapo with 3 underscores in between there. Thank you. Between the L and the
Yeah,
Chapo.
3 underscores, 1 P. The whole thing. It's you can find it. I'll tell you what. You look at the description, you can find it. There it is.
That's so much easier, Tim.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, whole description. Just click on it. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. You can find it. Guys, we are on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Castbox. We're on a ton of different things. I'll tell you what, one way you can support us, leave us a review. Leave us a review on Apple. Leave us a review on Spotify.
Yeah.
Those are options. You leave that. It helps us. And it's totally free and easy to do. So if you like what you hear, just do that. You can do that and that'll make it easy. But if you're like, I like to throw money at people. Well, we have a way to do that too. We do have not a subscription button, but a donation button on anchor.fm/where-does-food/ I believe it's support. If it's not, it'll be in the description. But you can find us. It's pretty much just a donation button. We don't do specific things for anything. Maybe in the future we will, and we did in the past, but we've kind of readjusted things. So if you want to support us, just support us, you can. Head over there, and you can do so. I believe that is all the
That's it, Tim. Yeah.
outs. That's it. That's the end of Season 2. Get ready for Season 3. We got some fun stuff coming. I'm super pumped for Season 3. We've got a new intro song coming. It's going to be awesome. So tune in for that. It's going to be fun. That's all I got. Elle, hit us with the last goodbye.
Tim, I can't believe it. Thank you guys for listening this season. We're pumped for next season. I think you guys will be too. We appreciate you guys. And that's it. We're out.
Woo!
That's it. Where's food?